So now that is dry, we've focus. There we go. Yeah, now that is dry, we can start planning out our design. So, looking at the instructions, you got this sort of template here. This is kind of what I'm going to go for because this is what we've got on the Chosen as well. So I think it would look quite good to tie it in. Now, usually I would draw around something. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Am I? Excuse me. Oh, sorry. Oh, dear me. Right, yeah. So, usually I would draw around something to get this initial template. Now, I can't really see much that would sort of fit in with that I've got around me. Well, there's a round base there actually. I wonder if that's going to work. I've got, what's that, 60mm base? I wonder if that's going to sort of do the same. It might do. That could work. Yeah, we'll go with that. Why not? So what I'll do is I will precariously hold that. Let's get rid of this. I'll keep it close by for a reference, but don't need it right on top of me right now. So it's going to be all fingers and thumbs. Let me zoom out a touch for this so you can see where I'm at. So we kind of want to start at the top quarter, finish near the bottom. It's not going to be exactly the same. So I've just got a normal pencil. Just going to draw straight onto the banner. Around my base. Now let's see if that's come up on camera. Yeah, and you see that it's kind of catching the light a bit. Yeah. So we're gonna use that as our first line, and we'll go from there with it. Really, it's not quite. Although it's not quite round enough, is that? Couldn't be any better. That's a little bit smaller. That might work better. So yeah, we'll go like that. Try this base. Same principle, same job. Try and if you need to move it around like that, then I should have started with it upside down really, but never mind, we're here now. There we go. That looks a bit better. So I'm going to use this one that comes a bit further out. Yeah, we'll do that. So we get rid of that. Get rid of that, we don't need that. And then we're going to take some Mephiston Red. We are going to water this down a bit because we want it quite smooth. Just to get our initial lines in. Use a standard brush, size 1 brush, nothing too fancy. I'm definitely no pro at freehand, definitely no pro at thinning my paints. As you've probably seen, I generally use it straight out of the pot unless I'm using something for a glaze, something like that. Hopefully that will be okay. So get yourself comfortable where you're not going to jitter around too much. Take this nice and slow. It starts in about the same place. So I'm just going to touch it there, touch it there. I'm just going to put dots along my line. If I feel I can do a long one, I'll do a longer one, but it generally goes wrong. So try not to. Just put a dot, dot, dot. At this stage, doesn't matter too much if it's perfect. It's not going to be perfect. Dot. Okay. So get some more paint, and then we can fill in between these dots. Now. I'm also struggling because I haven't got my glasses on. But that's my fault. Being too lazy to go and get them as well. So, that's our first ring, done. First line. That's not a bad start. So what we need to do now is work out where we want our next line to form the first ring. Now I'm thinking we're probably going to want it, we're referring to our image, I think we're going to want it like that sort of width. Now do exactly the same again. Just go along, getting the distance right. Getting your dots in. And then once we're happy with the distance, we'll block in that line. Take it nice and slow. Don't have to rush to do this. Okay, first ring done. What I am going to do is I am going to block that in now. So I'm going to paint between the two lines, get a solid colour. Now this Mephiston red is obviously quite watered down, so it might take a couple of coats. Take your time with it. Excuse me. Take your time with it because you don't want to go outside your parameters at the minute. If you do, don't panic. We will touch it up afterwards. Let's get our basic shapes in. Then we can worry about the details. Now, it's a little bit hard to tell for me because I haven't got my glasses on, I can't really see properly. But hopefully this camera angle is working better. Okay, so first coat down. Now there is another circle slightly inside this, so I'm going to take a punt, good distance. I'm going to start like that, I think, keep it an equal distance away from the existing line. There's no right or wrong with this, just what feels right. Again, do your dots. Dots are a lot easier to cover up if you're not happy with it and you want to move one. It's a lot easier to fix that than it is for a whole line. Oh, I've lost my sight there, I can't see that because of the light. This one is a lot thinner, so I'm going to do it like that. Again, try and keep it parallel to your existing line. Again, let's fill the space in. Okay, so now we've got our basic rings. What I'm going to do is just reference the artwork real quick. So what we got? We've got 1, 2, 3 major points to the star, I suppose. That one's not quite at 12 o'clock, so we're going to do that one at about 11 o'clock. Excuse me, this one's not quite at 9 o'clock, it's more like 8:45, so we'll do that one somewhere in the middle. So I think if we get that one in first, then we can get this one in, then we can worry about this big one and the spikes and such. So let's get this one in first. We'll keep this as a basic arrow to start with. So get yourself comfortable again, get your brush loaded up, get a good point on your brush. Now I've got that tip of the point is around about there, so I'm going to put a dot there, and I'm going to have it coming down here. So we're going to put a dot there, and we will try to again join the dots up like that, and then paint a line. And we're going to use this as our center. And then what we can do is bring that down there, that down there, and then we can block in this line a bit more. Take, say, brush stroke either side of it. I think that'll be enough. Redefine this point a bit. I'm just going to block in that bit, and again block in that touch there. We can paint this a bit. Okay. Probably a lot skinnier than the artwork, but hey, we're doing it. So the other one I was going to do was about quarter to 9, so we're not going to get the whole thing on here. So what I'm going to do is just go like that, go like that, like that, go straight across like that. Now do the same thing again, join your dots up, and then fill it out a bit. Something like that. Right. Now we've got one coming across here. So I'm going to put a dot there, there, there. I feel like this is starting to look more like a bullseye than anything, but it is what it is. It's an awful, awful straight line, but we're going to go with it because it's our center line. We can fill it out a bit. Make this one a bit bigger. Bulk it out a touch. And then come to a point over here. It's definitely not going to win any awards. Definitely not. But it gives the impression. We try, and if we don't try these things, we don't get better. So try. We've got to start somewhere, right? Not a lot of these Golden Demon winners and Slayer Sword winners, they're exactly where everybody else is at some point along the road. And you don't become the best just overnight, do they? So just try. Fill in that colour a bit. Right, what have we got? We got spikes. So we've got a spike here, which is really annoying because that's right underneath everything. Got a spike here. Got a spike here. Now with these, just take it to a point and then bulk out that bit. You don't have to worry about the bit in the middle. So just like that. Make sure you do the same side on both sides though, because otherwise it's going to be weird. Now I'm not going to go too far that way. I'm going to concentrate coming down this way, like that. Just bulk that bit out actually. Oh, excuse me. To beg your pardon, I've got a lot of wind tonight. Now I could do some extra flourishes, bits of spikes here and there, but if I'm honest, I'm not gonna. I'm not that confident enough without my glasses as well. Doesn't help. So I'm just gonna block in these colours a bit more, just so they're nice and solid. I'm not going to use paint straight out of the pot for this because it'll be too thick. We want it nice and smooth. It needs to be smooth to apply thinly and go where we want it. I'd rather build this up in thin layers. We can reinforce our lines, we can reinforce our points. If you're not happy with your point, redefine it. Don't be afraid. But so I can't remember if I mentioned this. If gone over the whole banner with Black Legion to start with to get the black, and then if you do go wrong and you're not happy with it, don't be afraid to start again. It's Black Legion. Go over it with Black Legion, dry brush it again, wash it again, and then start again. So I'm going to let that dry for a minute, and we're going to start picking out the edges and start highlighting it. But we'll let it dry for now. So now that is nice and dry, we've got a good solid base on that. Can we focus? Can we focus? There we go. So we've got a nice, good solid base on that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Wild Rider Red and we're going to go around the edges of it. Now this is going to take a minute because we need to be careful of what we're doing. Still going to use the same size brush, I think. Yeah, size 1. Again, we're going to thin this because we don't want it going everywhere. Don't need it thick, we just need it to run where we want it. Is that going to be thin enough? Yeah, maybe. Try a bit more. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. Get a good point. Yeah, a better point. And now we are carefully, very carefully, make sure we're comfortable. We are going to define our edges. So we're going to run this, keep within the red because you're less likely to go wrong. Make sure you got paint on your brush as well. Okay, so take time going around this. Try your best to get it on the lines. It's a proper concentrating moment where you have to stick your tongue out and everything. I would definitely try to not go over the same line more than once, but then at the same time you need to make sure that paint is thin enough that it's going to come out, going to flow properly, but you also want it bright enough to define your highlight. Because if you leave yourself to go over lines a second time, got more chance to mess up. All right, get this one first. Right, once you've gone around the whole thing, check if there's any bits you missed, like that bit there. Oh, there's a whole spike on its own there I missed. And then go, well, try to redefine your spike, not your spikes, but pick out your lines where they're a bit lackluster. But I'm happy with that. That doesn't look too bad. It's starting to get there, isn't it? Can you see that? Focus. There we go, look. Look at that. It doesn't look too bad. Now, we've done that. I'm going to take some Flushed Terrors red and we're going to shade the middle of our lines. So I'm going to take a little bit of this. Doesn't need to be a lot. Take a little bit of water, a little bit more Flushed Terrors. Fingers. And we are going to go, we'll start off with this one. So we're going to go to the middle, somewhere around there, Are we in focus? No. There we go. So leave a gap either side of your red line. So you want the base coat showing, you want your line highlight showing, and then you're just going to take this down the center, something like that. Doesn't have to be exact. Then you can go into the your spikes like that. Carefully, carefully. Take your time, just go around. Shading areas. Once it's dry, go for it again. Just to define that center area as the darkest. I'm only going down the center this time. I'm not going to go down all of it. Should start to look something like that. Where they meet as well, go across like that. Leave that one for a minute, it's still drying, go across like that. Another cross, another cross. So that's that bit done. It's looking pretty good, pretty good. So now what we're going to do is the hardest bit. Now you could quite easily leave that there. That looks pretty good on its own. But what I'm going to do, just to make things even more tricky for myself, is I'm going to take some Fire Dragon Bright. Again, don't need a lot for this, so just get a tiny bit. Get some water. And now, what we're going to do is we're going to point like that, just like that, on the sharpest edges, like that. Right on the edges. That's a bit too big, so take that off. Just like that. Okay, missed one. A bit bigger. There we go. That's all you need for that. Alright, what am I going to do now is take some Black Templar and we're going to neaten this up. Straight out the pot with us. Not a great deal at once because we only need a teeny bit. And what we're going to do is, where we're not quite happy with the lines, we're going to redefine our black. Make them spikes a bit better. Tidy that line up a bit. Come down here, look, tidy that up. Get rid of our pencil marks. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Tidy up any bits that you aren't happy with. Pencil mark there. So the good thing about with the pencil marks, you're not going to see it a lot of the time anyway, even if you don't tidy them up. You're not going to see them because they are going to be acting like highlights. And what this also does with the blank Templar is kind of outlines the red, makes it pop a little bit because it adds a little bit of shadow around your the red. Give it a once over, make sure you're happy with it, and call it done. So yeah, that is the 3 of them done. What we do need to do though is finish the basing up, get that done. I'm not going to do that on camera because it's going to take not a lot of time. Same as all the other basing that I've done so far with these Slave to Darkness models. I'm going to paint the bone colour. The ground is going to be a Doom Ball brown colour and then washed with blacks, blues, agraxes, and yeah, that is it. Yeah, it's looking good. Looking good. Leave that to dry. So look at this guy. See if no, let's go with paint on camera. So I've already done the skulls with this guy. We've already got them painted. We just need to finish the basis up on the other 2. Obviously finish the ground cover with this one. But yeah, thank you very much. Hopefully we'll have a group shot soon.